Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Looking around. Testing. 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 Hello. Good space. Angle good. Maybe. Okay, people of the universe. If you're watching from another planet, hello, greetings from Earth. We're doing a tarot reading specifically for artists. There are many ways of being an artist, so don't be shy. Watch it anyway. And I'm not gonna list all the ways you can be an artist, because there are too many to list. Alright? But this tarot reading is for you. And so, here I have my Millennial deck. Millennial Tarot deck. It's the one I find most easy to use, to read. Least of the ones I have as of now. I also can read the classic tarot and the other one I have by that tattoo artist, but this one is the one I find brings the message flowing through the easiest for me. I'm not going to tell you which piles I have coming in, but they're taking their time. One package is like at the airport. The other two probably next week or the week after that. Yeah. Pile number 2. Here this one. Right? Pile number 1. Yeah, this one. No, actually, let's make it pile 3. I'll repeat it for you, so don't worry. Pile 1, you get my favorite crystal, I believe. If I can get it out of here. Theaters for the third eye. Okay. So, as you can see, pile 1, theater side. Pile 2, this one here. And pile 3 is here. You pick your pile by crystals today. And the crystal that speaks the most to you, to your intuition, your emotions, your feelings, your vibrations, senses, try and leave your mind out of it. That is the pile that has the message for you. I will see you in that pile. Okay, hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your tarot reading for artists. Well, let's see what we have to start with here. Can't even take it. The ghost. Ham. Baddie. Vision Lord. self-care, first-time home owner, microdose. I'm hearing rave vibes, techno vibes. You also have a genre similar to techno. It's 𝓟𝓮𝓻𝓼𝓸𝓷𝓪𝓵. I'm not gonna pronounce it because I had some. I'm sure you could call them friends, but they're not very nice, and they kind of misinterpreted the name of the genre as associated with a different term that sounds the same when you pronounce it, which is a very different term. But it's a very cool music genre. You should look it up. Dumpster fire, the tower. And the genre is not related by itself. You can relate. And I'm sure all people can enjoy it. But the name of the genre has something to do with, hypnosis. So it brings you into this technological, right? Vibe. And it's also often about drugs and related to psychedelic elements. Alright, this is a reading for you, for artists. Let's look at topic. 10 of thoughts can't even take visionary and the moon. I think you're feeling left out by someone you want to collaborate with maybe, or maybe another artist that you see are doing quite exceptional things and you want to be a part of it. You feel like they're not letting you in, they're ghosting. And we can look more into that. I think we should get a bigger view into that. Like, what can you do? What is this situation? Right? Is it someone you actually can collaborate with? Maybe it's not possible, or maybe you haven't taken the right step, right? 9 of Pentacles, King of Swords, Knave of Swords, the Sun, 3 of Swords, 6 of Wands, 10 of Swords, and 3 of Chalice, and Queen of Swords. And I'm using these cards, 4 of Wands, although I probably should get the other. But I can still, no problem, I can read these cards. It's a tarot of sexual magic, but you can use them for any question. It's just they're most welcoming to you if you ask about sexual relations. That's all. I want to say here that you have misunderstood the situation. Like, as you see harp here, music, sound, right? I feel like you have misunderstood this other artist's situation. Misunderstood what they're capable of, and also maybe what they're doing, right? Making music can be much like making film. I don't know what kind of artist you are. Maybe you are working in film, but since this is about music for most of you, it has to do with catching lightning in a bottle, right? Not literally, because that's not possible, but it means when you're crafting your work, you want to depict something, right? Have you seen American Pie Bandcamp? When Matt Stifler makes out with the girl, who I'm sorry I don't remember the name of, she comes up with a melody. And the melody expresses how she feels in that moment. And she goes on to write the symphony, which later becomes her masterpiece, which gets her into the school she wants to go to, right? With the harp here and the sun, it feels like you have misunderstood what this person is doing, for something else, when that is what this artist has done, captured lightning in a bottle, taken what he or she has experienced and written that into song, into music. It seems this is a person who prefers to work alone, but is not shy. And so I think if you want to collaborate, you will have to go in on good terms, right? It's like the hippogriff in Harry Potter. You bow before it before you get to ride it, right? You might not necessarily have to bow before this person. Maybe you do. Some artists are very self-loving, you could say, which is great. We love love. But if you want to collaborate with this artist, you have to go in on high terms, right? You have to accept where they're at, what they are doing, acknowledge their efforts and their accomplishments, and go in and say, hi, I want to work with you on something. Is that something you are into, right? Then you have to be equals. You have to present yourself as someone willing to work with them, as who they are and with what they're doing. Right? We also have fam here, 10 of Fields. And I think since it's right next to this collaboration we've been talking about, I think what you want to create is something more emotional, maybe more acoustic. I can see with a guitar, right? Playing acoustic guitar, jamming. Maybe you want to play the guitar and the other person sings, right? That is something I feel you can do with this person, but you gotta be the one to make the call, and you gotta be on the same level, right? You gotta acknowledge that you're asking an artist, as an artist, to work together to create art that will then be put out, which eventually could make income for both of them, right? A collaboration there. Otherwise, let's see. Vision board, self-care, first time homeowner. I'm seeing patience here and music. We talked about the techno by the 𝓟𝓮𝓻𝓼𝓷𝓪𝓵 music, and we also have EDM, house. All these genres are very similar. Techno, 𝓟𝓮𝓻, house, EDM. They're not the same genre, but they're very similar in that they deal with computer sounds, right? They don't typically use instruments, drums, acoustic guitars. They typically use sounds. It's like you also have dubstep, right? Which when came out was thought of as noisy computer sounds, whereas techno and EDM is more melodic and balanced. And they use computer software, right, to create this type of music. Usually through acquiring samples or recording sounds, which then are adjusted to sound technological, right? They use the beats, the bumps. If they use instrument, they usually create it in a digital environment, and they play it in a digital environment, right? That is usually how that kind of music goes. But there are also collaborations between different types of musicians. Musicians who make these type of genres and musicians who make more acoustic music have also collaborated in the past. It's not impossible. I also want to say that this is not something new. This is like this kind of type of music exploded in the 90s. People started using computer software to make music then. And already in the 80s with the electro pop you can see the beginnings of that. Even 70s I think as well. If you go too long before that you'll get to the stage where most music had to be more acoustic because the technological and digital world wasn't there. If it's not music and movies, I gotta say it's the same there, right? Today a lot of things happen digitally. You do the editing in a digital world. You, mostly editing, right? But you also you record the voices. Sometimes you often record after the fact of shooting, right? Which would be great for this reading, but I can't really re-record what I'm saying because it's in the flow of the moment. But I could have a mic here, for example, right? And then you put it in a computer program and you match it, right? And so often what you do is you do a shooting of the scene where the actors do their lines, and then you go in a digital environment and you also make the actors re-record their lines so they sound better on the actual film than they do on the film clip that has been shot. You also add effects, colors, you do the cuttings. You can have a clip go 10 minutes and only use a second of it in the actual film. That sort of thing is often happening digitally, whereas before the digital advancements were there, you had to actually cut the film strips, right? And do editing that way. You also have animation movies where everything is done on the computer. Or before that, you did it with shot by shot drawings. Every frame, each second was hand drawn, right? But today, you usually go in a digital software and you edit. And you cut the film strips, put in the colors you want, you edit the colors. If you're very good at it, you can even cut out objects that you don't want in the shot. Although that would be very tidy, I think. Tidy work. Anyway, the message here is technology and music or film goes together. And you can also collaborate across different genres, right? That's what I'm saying. So maybe you want to be more acoustic. This artist is very occupied in the technological, especially with the tech visionary here. The technological way of creating art with fully embracing the tech of today's world. You can still make that work. You can combine those two things together to create something together if you want. You can even do it on your own as well. I know many ways of doing it. I'm not going to share them all right now because I've already been battling for a little while. It happens sometimes when you do these readings. But I want to let you know that you can also mix and match. You can record acoustic guitars and then use techno beats, for example, in a digital environment. You can even tune your guitar afterwards in a digital environment. Everyone who records vocals goes in a digital environment after they have recorded the vocals and edit those vocals for a record, because they're actually gonna be released, right? And they often do multiple takes, all sorts of stuff, right? And then they edit in a digital environment. They do the sorts of edits that they need to make it sound the best possible with those performances that has been made, right? We also have First Time Homeowner and Dumpster Fire. I think, if you're in art, no one thinks that it's gonna be lucrative, especially at first. I think every artist can tell you they have struggled with making it through, making rent, getting paid. A lot of people are artists and have daytime jobs as well, because the market is really challenging and you have to work really hard and get really lucky to get big, and only very few people get to the place where they make enough money of the art to actually live. Very, very few. Very, very, very few, right? And so I think a message for you here is to remember that an artist's life is tough, and that you very rarely get enough pay for what you do to actually live, which is why you also have to work in more typical 9-to-5 jobs as well, more often than not. Okay, I'm gonna get some last messages for you. I think you want to use the universe deck. Let's get some oracle cards. Health issues could arise. Let go, make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. Liar, be careful of someone sneaking. Distance, you and your partner may be physically or emotionally distance, moving. And yes, luck is on your side. That's probably the most important one, but let's get through it. Health issues could arise. Stay calm, stay patient, don't worry. Don't be too anxious, right? Like I already told you, an artist's life is hard. Calm down, take it easy. To make great art, you also need to be in a good place, even if you're making art about stressful situations. You need to have at the bottom, at least, you need to be in a good place emotionally, physically, spiritually, to then make the performance, right? To then express the stress you went through. You don't want to do it in a stressful vibe. Most cases, maybe someone will disagree, but I think so, yeah. So maybe you want to make music or a film about something that was very stressful and caused you a lot of anxiety. But if you're going to do it justice, you need to wait until you are in a better place to then express it, right? Through song, through film, even through book or paintings, photographic images that are then manipulated. Let go, make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. Let go of the past, let go of your suffering. Open up to the possibilities of the world. Open up your heart. Art is often about emotion, about expressing what you feel, what you see, what you experience, right? So let go of the past and open your mind, your heart, your aura, everything to the beauty around you. Be careful of someone sneaky. Someone is not being honest with you about their intentions. They have something. Let's get clear. You want to make sure, right, you get the right message for you. Six of Swords, Queen of Chalice, the High Priestess, Five of Wands, the Devil. Right, So someone close to you might even think they have your best in mind, but they do not, right? And I think I wanted to say, right? I think this person thinks they have your best in mind, but they do not. They have something else in mind for you. Maybe you are both wanting the same thing, same collaboration, or maybe you both want to express the same emotion, which can cause some anger. But as far as I know, right, if you then go two separate ways, you will create two separate artworks, even if you're both expressing the same thing. Because you're two different people, two different artists, and you will have different experiences and also different ways of doing things, and you won't create the same artworks. Anyway, this person thinks they're doing what's best for you, but they lack knowledge and skill, and they don't actually know that what they are doing is not what is best for you. Okay. Distance, you and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. I think this is about your partnership, the collaboration you want here. You can do collaborations digitally as well. It might feel less personal. It usually happens through you doing your part, sending it over, and then this person doing their part and sending it over, and you work together until you're both happy, and then whoever is in charge of getting that to the distributor does that, right? Moving, change of residence. It can be, if you really want to collaborate with this artist, or maybe there's a group of several artists that you need to actually move, right? Maybe there's someone doing a film, or maybe you want to work with a production team that lives in Oslo. You don't live in Oslo. You want to work with them, but there's distance. Move to Oslo, work with them. If they don't have an option for you to work somewhere else, but then you most likely won't be part of the art part of the production, right? Unless maybe you're doing editing. But still, the message is to make the move, right? Make the move. Yes, luck is on your side. You can do it. For some of you, you will do it. You just gotta listen to the advice here, right? Luck is on your side. Alright, pile number 1. Thank you. Hello, hello. Are you pile number 2? I've been expecting you. Surely have. Here is your crystal, and we're gonna get a reading for you. Burnt out and effective together. New gig in reverse. First like. Grown-ass man. The soul cyclist. Imposter syndrome. Sugar daddy. New career, who this? Busy branch and ally. And work business. Okay. Let's take a look at these two first, since they came out together. The Thick Boy and Burnt Out. Which is the Devil and the 10 of Wives. I wanna say it's like devious smile. Smoke. Motorcycle. I'm sensing a passion here for maybe it's someone you know. And I think, since this is a reading for artists, you should, it's a message, use your passion and write a song or paint a painting, make a film. Use your passion. If this is a real person, don't worry. You don't have to tell them that they are your inspiration. They might not even know. It's called being a muse, right? They're inspiring you to create. Don't worry about that. I'm sure you heard songs about beautiful girls, and maybe even songs about cows and cars, right? The view at night, the club. And so I sense a passion here, and I think the message is to use your passion to create your art, and use your passion for this figure, person, or things to create it. We have new career hoodies, the soul cyclist, imposter syndrome, sugar daddy, work business, busy brunch. I see photos being taken. And now I don't know. I had a discussion with a friend just a few weeks ago about photos. Because some has had this idea, right, that if you take a picture of someone, they have to give their consent to be taken a picture of first. And that's also what I was told when I was young, and everybody got mobile phones with cameras not long before the smartphone released, but a few years before the smartphone released. And we got our mobile phones with cameras. They were really good cameras back then, at least for a mobile phone. And I don't know, maybe the parent generation got worried, and everybody was told, remember to get consent before taking pictures and stuff like that. But I guess nobody listened, because eventually the smartphone came out, and by now I get snaps of myself more or less every day, right? Pictures of me that I had never consented to being taken, but they're being sent to me, and I look very good, so I don't really care. But I'm seeing here, like, taking pictures of someone, and I think maybe they don't know that you do. These photos are your photographs then, right? This is your art. So what I would advise you to do is, first and foremost, maybe not do this activity, because it sounds really stalky. But if you already are, you're not gonna listen to me. So here's what you gotta do. You gotta put these images into your software on your computer and create art out of it, where the person you have been taking pictures of is not visible. You cannot see that this is that person, right? That way you create harmless art, and the person never knows, right? Now, as for the legality of these photos, look it up yourself. I don't know. You also have, especially with famous people in the United States, you have paparazzi taking pictures of them, and I don't think they have consented to those pictures being taken and published. But I also don't think they take a problem, because it's free promotion, right? I know I wouldn't. So there's also the fact of, which I also discussed with my friend in the same conversation. Let's say it is illegal to take photos of people without their consent, and you do, and you publish them, then those pictures also have to be reported by the person in order for legal action to be taken. So in the cases of a celebrity who's being taken pictures of, who has not consented to this by the paparazzi publishes them, the celebrity does not take action, the pictures get to stay. right? That is the law of the land. We have new gig in reverse. First like, as man, the ally. I think you are afraid of taking a step here. It might be actually asking the person to model for you. If you pay them, I'm sure they won't mind, if they are good with that. It can also be venturing into other stuff. If you're good at taking pictures, use that to create other stuff. And in a sense, you have like, you don't wanna take that step, but you should. First, like your own as man and ally. There are many other artists in the world. You can find and speak to them. Maybe they can help you out of this situation here and get into something where you can create something more welcoming, something less creepy, right? So with first like your own as man and ally, find people who are also artists who can help you overcome whatever is stopping you from taking that step into the world where you create what is perfectly legal art instead of this that seems a little shady. Although I cannot be sure what it is about. You take it as it resonates to you, but it does seem a little off, right? Like maybe you shouldn't. Alright, pile number 2. Let's get some oracle cards for you as well. Pregnancy. Someone is expecting. Patience. Just a few more months. Good things come to those who wait. Love spell. You've been bewitched. Fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Date night. Honeymoon. And air sign as well. Someone is expecting. And if this relates to the next step, maybe you want to contact someone who's already working on something, right? Do so. Do it. Send them a message. Make sure money is flowing. You don't have to be too greedy if you don't want to. You don't have to be too generous if you don't want to. But make sure money is flowing. Yeah. Patience. Just a few more months. Good things come to those who wait. Don't be too harsh on yourself. You will overcome what is holding you back. Just be cool. Stay calm. You've been bewitched. I think once you do overcome this that is holding you back, you'll find that the people you meet have already been expecting you. Maybe they have seen you and you didn't know. Maybe they already know something about you and you didn't know. But they've been expecting you to come along and work with them. Fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, date night, Gemini. Here is seduction, right? Business partnership done right. You want someone in on an effort with you, or you want to be in an effort with them. That is artistic and also business, right? Take them out, whoever they are. I know it says date night, but this is business oriented, not romantic. Take them out, pour them an expensive glass of wine on you, and then you put on the idea, the contract, so to speak. Do you want to take a part in this? Fire sign and air sign might relate to the people, but I also think it relates to a burning passion here, which once you settle the deal is much easier flowing, right? Fire and air. You gotta do this, right? Get ahead of yourself, almost, right? Take this person out, pour them a big glass of expensive red wine, kneel on you, and then give them the deal. They'll accept, hopefully, more than likely, and everything will be good. Your passion will burn out in artistic expression. Okay, I will do too. Thank you. Okay, pile 3. You're the last pile today. Tarot reading for artists. Of course, to you. More than likely, it's the only pile. Right? Let's see what we got for you. Tinderists. The Etsy Queen. Free giveaway. Generational wealth. Thirst trap. Independent woman. Squad goals. Girls trip. Sorry not sorry. The ick. Hashtag blessed. Coming out. Mother's intuition. Teletherapist. What do we have here? Expression in art, right? First and foremost, if you have an idea of some sort of music, film, painting, whatever it is you want, maybe even a beanie or art that is practical, accessories, clothing, then by all means do it. Don't be afraid of judgment. All artists face judgment, and all artists have eventually have to come to terms with the fact that not everyone is gonna like their stuff. There will always be critics. Even the greatest, most beloved artists in the history of the world have critics. Maybe they even have more critics because there's so many eyes on them. Right? Haters. And if you want to create your art piece, you gotta be able to not listen to those people. You gotta listen to yourself first and foremost, your intuition, your idea that you want to create, however you want to create it. And then you can also listen to constructive criticism, right? I think this is good, but it would be even better if you did this. Why aren't you doing that? Might be a question, right? That can help you improve. But the negativity, the hate, those who dislike what you're doing, they're gonna come anyway, no matter what. So do what you want to do, right? Don't listen to them. They can make their own stuff. They're just too lazy or too scared. Okay. Thirst trap, independent woman, squad goals. I think maybe you want to form a band or a group, boy band, girl band, group, singing group, whatever, painting group, some sort of art group. And you have this person here who is very independent and inspiring for you. And you wonder if you can bring them in to your group to create something together as a whole. And with sorry not sorry right next to it, I would say yes, but be unapologetic, be brave, be bold, be wise. You can, but you gotta remember that creating art together is also business. Right? You have different people doing different things, who get credits for what, and remember that this also means shared income of the art piece that is made. You need to make those deals. Then by all means you can shape this, but also remember to be fair, right? If you are shady, devious, trying to trick someone to do the work for you, then that is gonna go badly, right? You gotta be unapologetic about it. And you gotta be fair, and remember that art is also business, right? The Tinder is 𝓟𝓮𝓻𝓼𝓷𝓪𝓵 generational wealth. We give away the traveling, money, creating love, believing that you can do it, right? This is a big part. Even if you're in a group, can even before your group, maybe you're a group watching, right? Believing that you can do it is half the job. And then you just gotta keep at it until you actually make it to the big grand stage, right? And so this speaks of believing you can do it and then doing it. Working, creating, shaping, and like I already told you, taking constructive criticism and not listening to haters. Working together to craft it. Just do it, right? Do it. You know you can. Work it. And do it with love, do it with passion, do it with your lover, do it with your friends, do it in a group, do the work. Work, 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 work. Especially if it's something physical you're shaping. Clothing, branding, right? You gotta shape it as well. Make it look good. And remember that everyone has to get paid from the finished product. Credited as well. On top here we have hashtag blessed coming out, mother's intuition and a teletherapist. And I think this is, there's a contrast here, right? From where you started to where you ended. This might be you're wondering about an art piece you wanted to make, and you did it in collaboration with these people, and it ended up being something quite different than you wanted. And you're wondering if that is okay. By all means it is. But if you want your vision materialized and these people you're working with is hindering that, then you need to either work alone or with someone else. You can also get a power structure where you are the boss, as long as those who work for you are paid and happy with the deal, right? That's no problem. But if you really want to create your own art piece, you should do it on your own. Everything. Maybe you can get help with the business side, but do the art piece on your own. That's the way you can get your own vision. Because working with others, you will have to make sacrifices. And that can cause the end piece to be different than what you envisioned at first. Right? It doesn't mean you shouldn't be proud of it. You were there working as well, doing things that needed to be done. But that's the way it is to work with others. You gotta give and take. To get where you want to go. Let's see if we have something else for you. Let's take the other tarot card here to get some more messages. 10 of chalice in reverse, Hanged Man, 2 of wands, 2 of pentacles, 5 of chalice, 9 of chalice, Ace of pentacles, the Hermit, the Wheel. freedom of expression, right? Like we talked about first, if you're worried about your art piece, maybe as a group or as an individual, maybe someone in your group is speaking to you about limiting certain things because of legality, right? This is not legal to talk about. This is not legal to sing about. We cannot make a song about that because that is forbidden. You should remember that at least in most Western countries we have something called freedom of speech, which also protects artistic expression, which means that you're legally allowed to express anything, especially in art, because it's harmless most of the time. I don't think you ever can blame the artist. I'm sure people have tried. I can't really remember exactly what, but I seem to remember having heard tales about people trying. But in the end, that's not really how it goes. Hi, just someone walking by. In the end, everybody is responsible for their own actions, and you have freedom of speech, which means also freedom of artistic expression. And you should not worry, right? If you're worried about making a song about something that might not be legal, that's not the case. You also have, or a film, or a book. You also have, like, in cinema, you have age limits, right, to limit children from seeing explicit content. On streaming services, you have that sort of stuff too. So be free and express the music or art that you want to create. And if someone in this group is telling you this, then counteract them, right? Counteract them and show them examples of songs already made that are in the same theme, in the same field. And I also want to tell you, because I remember this was a discussion when I was younger and I wasn't that knowledge on it, but yeah, I can use myself as an example then, right? I have several songs up on Spotify, and several of them deal with drugs as a theme. And doing drugs is not legal, but singing about doing drugs is, right? That's not illegal, and it's not dangerous, especially for me who doesn't use any drugs. I have in the past, which is my inspiration. But you have to actually be caught with the law-breaking substance for it to have negative effect legally, right? Defamation is illegal, so don't be afraid, right? To sing about something is not illegal, even though doing it is. To make a film about substance abuse is not illegal, even though doing narcotics is. Use that example, however it resonates with your situation. Number 3. Lastly, I want to pull out these here: liar, cycles, vacation, manifest, Mercury retrograde, commitment, someone else. Liar relates to the person I was talking about, which maybe is in your group, or maybe someone else if you're a solo artist working alone. They're lying to you about what is legal, what is allowed, because you are free to express in art, and most other cases as well. There are some limitations. But not in the name of love. Fate, karma, something ending, something beginning. I think if you've been struggling with this, you're not gonna for much longer. Things are gonna change. You're gonna get your liar out of the group, or you're gonna get him to understand, or her, the fact that the situation is freedom of expression. not limits. You will be traveling soon. This will lead you then to maybe go on a journey. You can go far away if you want, or it can just be a trip in the woods, but it will be kind of a break for you to ease your mind and breathe, take in your victory here over this person who's been holding you back. Manifest, tell the universe exactly what you want. This also works when creating art projects. Tell the universe exactly what it is you want to create, and the universe shall help you. Is it a film, book, movie, song, album, several albums, a trilogy of movies, a short film? And what should it be about? Hi. Mercury retrograde, electronic issues, communication issues. Things are getting serious. Remember to back your stuff up. Everything you create, back it up 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Lock it behind passwords. Do everything you can to make sure what you have already made isn't lost. Because it's valuable to you, your group if you're in one, and your efforts further on. Remember to back every single thing up, right? Many files across different platforms that are locked behind your password. Online, offline, extra disks, burn it onto CDs, whatever you can to make sure you don't lose progress. Someone is in the middle, someone is trying to sabotage this. Someone else as well, in addition to the liar, I think, is trying to make all this fall. And they're stopping you. They're holding you back, which means you gotta keep an eye out for bad advice. And how do you do that? You stay enlightened, you stay on top, you keep backing things up. And like I said with freedom of expression, look it up. Look it up. Find examples of music that is already made that can be used to argue your case. And look up the actual law on freedom of expression, that sort of stuff. To build the foundation in yourself, your mind, and for the rest of your group if you're in one, so this person can't knock out the building grounds, so everything falls together, falls apart. You got it? Sorry about the disturbances, just a few people walking by. And yeah, I'll see you in the next. Okay, people of the universe, this was your reading for artists. I'm sorry if you were disturbed on your way. I do not live alone. I'm in the living room, so that might happen. But I hope I managed to give you a good reading and that you got something out of it. As always, if you want more personalized reading, the information is in the description. Because you can get a reading just for yourself. These ones put on YouTube are for free. But you can also pay me to do a reading just for you. And the information is in the description if you want to do that. If not, you can just leave a like or something, right? To help support the channel. See you next time.